to let them know that this was happening, because 2 of those principals on that list, in less time that it took her, solved the problem. And if she'd have given them the courtesy to the administration of those individual schools, they might have been able to make it happen quicker than her and Skip Alston himself. And they did it. So I would really, really, more than anything, wish Contreras would relinquish her control of the children to the administration that she hires to do it, because they seem to be doing a pretty damn good job.
Buses, the traffic does not stop for city buses. There is no arm that comes out on a city bus.
Right.
There's no stop sign.
No,
it doesn't stop them.
So you've got
You got a good point.
you've got city buses. You've got, look at the busy streets they run on. Wendover, Market Street, lots of traffic. The traffic doesn't stop. They keep going.
Right.
So the safety. Now you got 20 kids at one bus stop.
Running out in front of traffic.
No, it's not safe.
I live over half an hour from our school, and so with no bus, there's no city bus that's going to come to High Point and take my son out to Greensboro, which meant that my son wasn't going to be able to go to school for the next 2 weeks. I'm starting a new job tomorrow. There's no way that I can lose more than 2 hours out of my workday to take him back and forth to school. And I'm sure that I'm far from the only parent who's in that same situation with having trouble leaving a job to be able to transport my son to school. And my big concern there comes next with, during the last Board of Education meeting, when there was discussion about students who are out of school on quarantine and what type of instruction they'll receive. Dr. Contreras said very clearly that there's no live instruction being offered to those students. Their assignments are available on campus for them to do, but they're not receiving any instruction when they're out of school. I'm going to make the assumption that between Friday evening and Monday morning, there will also not be accommodations made to deliver live instruction for the next 2 weeks, which means that any students who are impacted by this transportation issue are not going to be receiving instruction for the next 2 weeks. Our kids are already so far behind. We've had so much learning loss over the last 2 years, as we all know, and our students weren't performing well before COVID. Now they're even further behind, and we have kids who are definitely not going to be able to make it to school because of this transportation issue, who are going to continue to get further and further behind because of what's going on.
Thank you. Anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Who is in Guilford County Schools in the 10th grade at the middle college. However, his middle college is not affected by this bus situation. I want to address the fact that the 8 schools that they have listed, there are 8 Guilford County schools that they have listed, those schools are in predominantly impoverished neighborhoods, and they are Title I schools. So when you look at it from that point of view, you have a lot of children who are in impoverished neighborhoods, people of color, indigenous, and Latinos, who maybe don't have enough food to eat on the table, maybe don't have a coat to wear, but yet you want them to take a bus, to walk to a bus stop, which may be 2 miles away, and then go to the depot, transfer buses, and then go back to the closest bus stop that's at your school, and then maybe have to walk another mile to get to that school. The buses aren't dropping kids off at schools like people say. They're not doing that. So if Grimsley can come up with a plan, I don't know where Grimsley's getting the money, but Grimsley has a coach that they're doing a shuttle bus. Paige is meeting right now to do a shuttle bus. Okay, but Dudley might be able not to do that. Jackson or Smith Academy, the GTCC at Bennett, the Early College at Bennett, the STEM at A&T, the GTCC at High Point, the GTCC at Guilford, the GTCC at Greensboro, all of those are on this bus thing, okay? So when you have a student that's in the early middle college, they don't go to school until 11 in the morning. They get out at 5:15. It's dark. It's dark at 5. I mean, they get out at 5:15. It's dark. So you want them to walk in the dark to go find a bus stop when it's cold, to go find, go back to the depot, and let's just grant it, kids are missing every day. So we're putting our kids at risk. I'm not putting blame on any schools remotely permanently. But she did say in her message, with COVID related, that if a school was highly transmissible or whatever, that she could close that one particular school. She could close one particular class. So why not go A day, B day cohorts? Everyone's still going to school. There's other ways to do this other than just saying, hey, let's just let these kids find out for themselves how to ride a city bus, when God knows I wouldn't be able to find out how to ride a city bus. And I'm 50 years old. I wouldn't know how to train. I wouldn't know which bus to get on. And then for me to have to ride all around Greensboro and be late and get a tardy, and 3 tardies equals 1 absent. So how is that going to work? And then we don't have any answers. Where's Sharon at?
Went in the hat like she normally does.
She's hiding. She did this at 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon and dropped the bomb on the parents. And then said, oh, okay, today on Sunday, there's going to be a GTA bus meeting on how your kid can access the bus route. So it's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all that. She's not even there. GTA is holding this. It's not Sharon Contreras. It's not the board. It's nobody. It's the GTA telling our kids how they're supposed to be able to. So even though it doesn't affect my child's school, I'm here because of the other children that may not have the opportunities or the access. Now, who's going to stand in the gap for them? If we're not here to stand in the gap for all children, then there's something wrong with Guilford County, because it says a child's perception is their reality. They're already going through enough with COVID. So I've heard enough about how the mental health and all that other kind of stuff of staying at home is hurting children. COVID is killing children. And you want to put them on a city bus with other people that are grown. Hello, that's a COVID spread right there. So I'm sorry. Forgive me. I'm not COVID scared or anything like that, but I'm not going to put my child in a situation. Then you want parents to carpool. You want to put another child in your car where you don't know where that child came from, with COVID being as highly transmissible as it is. So make that make sense too, because it doesn't. So you want to carpool, but you don't know who you're carpooling. I'll take every kid in Greensboro if I could. Every kid, I don't care. But every child deserves a decent and basic education, and we are not getting that in Guilford County. We are not getting it in Guilford County. We never have. We speak at these meetings, we come here, and nothing is ever done. They listen, but they don't hear us. And I'm tired. I'm tired of having to fight and fight and fight and fight. Something needs to be done. Because nothing is being done. We're not being heard, and this is going to be brushed under the rug just like everything else is. They sweep it underneath the rug like they don't hear us. So I want you to focus real close on that door right there, if you could, with the camera. I don't know if you're allowed to or not. But if you can't, let me just tell you what it says. You need an appointment to enter the building. So the Guilford County School Board of Education, in order to enter this building, you have to have an appointment. They're sitting behind plexiglass and masks, and they are protected. When are you going to protect our children? Because our children don't have an appointment.
When is our children going to be the priority?
Our children isn't a priority. They never have been a priority.
When?
So that's all I'm saying. If you have to have a daggum sign on that door that says by appointment only, then give our kids the justice that they deserve. Because right now, all kids are failing. And don't talk about test scores, because if you can send them to school an hour and a half late, guess what? They're lacking education. So the mental health and everything else that's going on, it's affecting everybody, not just children. We'll get over it. But what we can't get over is putting our kids in danger. That's what we can't get over. So thank you for your time.